Hang on, where are you? Hey, can you hear me? I moved all my stuff around and sometimes that makes my microphone and my camera very angry with me. Hey, happy Wednesday. So we're doing instrument rehab today. I'm not doing anything really bonkers like instrument repair wise. I'm gonna save that for another day. I'm not doing anything too bonkers crazy today. The biggest repairs that we need to make in the instrument petting zoo for this like chunk of time is actually for both violins that we have, and we haven't done those fixes yet because they are beyond my ability. We have one acoustic violin that I actually got from Carrie Floyd from Madam forever and ever ago, and it's never really, it got out a little bit and then it got dropped and it got broken. So that was a long time ago. That was more than a year ago. So since then I have fixed all the things that I'm capable of fixing, which is quite a bit. I'm, as a classically trained violist and an orchestra teacher, I know how to fix quite a lot of shit on a string instrument. So I re-glued the fingerboard and I, strings and like I did all the easy stuff. That's not a lot of issue. I didn't bring one to demonstrate, but there's something around. So all of violins and violas and cellos and all those things, they all have a button at the bottom. Like it looks like where you on a guitar where you see people plug in like their thing down at the bottom. Violins, violas, cellos, and basses have one of those too, but it's obviously not to plug into. It's just literally a button that goes through your instrument that secures all of the strings. There's a little piece, you have like the tail piece, the bottom part that looks kind of like a fin that all the strings come down into. And then there's a very thin wire that goes around the button called the gut. It's not made of gut anymore, obviously. It's metal. But that little piece of metal and that button are everything that keeps all the tension from your violin strings from just going and breaking your instrument or flying off your instrument. So the gut piece, the actual little metal piece that goes around the button, is what broke. And that is beyond, hey everybody, that is beyond my capability. And I don't know many orchestra teachers that could fix that, actually. And if you are an orchestra teacher and you can fix that, you should be doing luthier stuff on the side. Make you that money. So that's the biggest repair. That instrument needs a new gut around the bottom button, and it needs a new bridge. The bridge is the part that sits under the strings, that little white chunk near where you bow that keeps the strings like sticking up in the air. I need two new ones of those because the acoustic violin, the broken one, that one broke in half. It's not worth gluing them back together. You should just get a new one. They're not very expensive. But then Tyler bought an electric violin on Temu. Sometimes I regret like introducing Tyler to Temu, and at the other times I'm like, you know what, I should be glad like he wants to spend our goofy money on goofy instruments. But this electric violin is kind of a piece of shit. But I think if I take it into our luthier at Baroque Violin really close to where I live, that we will be able to make it sound a little better, get like a better bridge on it. Are there professionals? Oh yeah. So I live really close to, I'm looking at the wrong camera again. I live really close to Baroque Violin Shop. One of them. There are quite a few. When I was in high school in Dayton and middle school, we actually rented from, it was called St. Anne's Hill at the time, but they were bought by Baroque. So it used to be owned by a man named Paul Bartel. Rest in peace, Paul. He was like the coolest luthier in the world. And he used to come to the OMEA conferences every year. OMEA is Ohio Music Educator Association. I don't know if every school is like this, but at Miami, like, you had to go to OMEA because it was going to be a party and we were going to get lit. A lot of times professors pay for drinks because they enjoy the like hypocrisy of, especially at that time, like I graduated in 2012, they were still telling us like, don't put anything on Facebook, it'll ruin your professional career. Like, so I think it amused them to then buy us drinks like, and get us drunk and just be fun. So anyway, Paul Bartel used to come to that. He would bring a Stradivarius that he would let you play on the conference floor, which was really cool. But then if you were a music ed major that was focusing on strings, he would take you out to dinner. So he would just end up every OMEA weekend once a year, he would just end up taking like a table of like 20 to 50 underclassmen from like various Ohio schools out to dinner. And one year Tyler went with me. Like, that was senior year. One year Tyler went with me and his friend Tyler, who was our officiant at our wedding, because they were both interested in teaching strings. Tyler did some of his student teaching in strings, I think, like a psychopath. But yeah, they went out to dinner with us with Paul Bartel. We went to, what's it called? Oh no, I don't remember what it's called. We went to Buca de Beppo's. But for some reason, Tyler believes that restaurant is called Bappo de Bucci's. So, anyway, all that to say, he started the Baroque violin shop in Cincinnati. There are now a couple of them. Like I said, they bought out St. Anne's Hill Violin in Dayton when I was there. I believe we bought my first viola from them in high school. So I'm going to take the violins to them probably tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. I'm going to take them tomorrow and see what they say. That's also where we rent the cello from. So we recently actually just took the cello in and they gave us like a fresh bow rehair and they put new strings on it, which is part of the reason we continue to rent, is because they do all that stuff. Like, we don't have to pay for new strings when it needs a new string. We don't need to pay for the bow rehair. Like, the fee that we pay for the year covers pretty much everything short of us like purposely exploding it. Like, Baroque would have to see a video of us like putting it in the road and running it over for them to like charge us to repair it. You know what I mean? They rent to middle schools and high schools all over Ohio and like the tri-state area. So they're used to having, you know, a kid do something stupid with an instrument. So that's part of the reason we continue to rent. I do really want to purchase a cello eventually for myself to play more on stage. And now I'm starting to think that's going to have to be like we're going to continue to rent the cello for the petting zoo, and I'm going to buy a cello to play on stage. So to make that worthwhile, I need to learn my looping pedal, which is my other goal for the rest of this month. So a little peek into our instrumental plans. So, and they don't mind doing instruments that are not theirs. Sorry, I was cleaning up old jewelry. I was going through jewelry of like stuff I've never worn. Just making like just cleaning up my shelves of stuff over here. There's a wench gathering this weekend, I think. Is that right? Are you going, Lady Raven? But I think they're doing a garb exchange after that. And I'm kind of looking at all of my garb and my jewelry like, got a lot of stuff that I don't really wear so much. So, okay, so goal number 1, all the stuff, I have lugged all this stuff out. We've got, anyway, this is the only bucket remaining in the house. The rest of them are, it's next weekend. Can I do next weekend? I just have to look at my calendar. But the rest of these buckets are on our patio where I hose them off. That's why if you see I have any wet spots on me, that's why. I foolishly went out fully clothed in the outfit I planned to wear for the stream to hose down the buckets. So they're still gross though. So now my goal is when Tyler gets home, I'm going to have him drill a hole in the bottom of all of them, first of all, so they drain. And then I'm going to get the pressure washer out and I'm going to pressure wash all the tent and all the buckets and all the tent walls. That might be a next week thing, but so in this bucket, this is like egg shakers and jingle bells. This is all like hand percussion and hand, like very small string instruments, like my lap harp. All of these things really just need to be cleaned. They're just gross. I don't make Mr. Bucket do this because he works like a real job. I do very regularly clean everything. Everything gets at the very, very bottom of the barrel, like expectation. Everything gets Lysol, like at least once, just like a spray. You know what I mean? At least like once a weekend. But I don't often get to like go through every single egg shaker and like rub it down. So, that's what I'm going to do for some of it. Some of my boom whackers. I don't know. Can you see how filthy that she is? That's mud. That's just straight mud. Hello? So that's just straight mud on my boom whackers because the last fair I was at was the White Hart Renaissance Fair and the back of my tent flooded So I have a bunch of filthy instruments from White Hart Renaissance Fair. Something about that fair being in the Ozarks means it rains there a lot. It rains there a lot. And unfortunately, half of my tent, because it wasn't actually tent, it was a wooden roof, wasn't waterproof. If you want the full story, you can go scope out my podcast, because I complained a lot about it on the Magpie. There's a whole episode about it. I called it the Black Cloud Ren Fair. So everything is basically filthy from that fair. It was incredibly muddy, and then when it wasn't muddy, it was swampy, so really nothing dried. So I just have a lot of like dusty, filthy instruments. That's not going to be very interesting to watch, so it's not going to be the very first thing I do, but it is what I'm going to do today. One of the other things I'm going to do, I have 2 instruments that I need to do this with. Yeah! I love White Hart. I'm not going to lie, I did a whole podcast episode complaining about the weather and called it the Black Cloud Run Fair, but in the post I also said, I still love you, White Hart, because I do. I was just very angry and disappointed in Mother Nature and her decisions the last couple weekends there. Oh, also, can you guys see how cute this is? My friend Ron printed this. Ooh. It's just a little sleeve for your drink, for your soda, but it's like color shifting 3D print stuff. I just think it's cool. Just wanted to show that off. My friend Ron made that for me. Something else that I need to do with 2 different instruments is I'm going to do it with this one first, and then if this one doesn't exhaust me, I'll do the auto harp. And if it does, the auto harp can wait. I'll do that another day. This is my lyre. I'm going to be honest with you. So 1, L-Y-R-E, not like liar, liar, pants on fire. It's lyra. Lyre. It's not lyra. It's not lyra. It's lyre. Now you know. It's from Temu. We bought this on Temu. This was one of our first live stream that we did, where we spent $100 on Temu instruments to, right, my very secretive Sprite Zero. Oh, right, this was our first live stream where we bought a bunch of dumb instruments on Temu just to see what showed up. This was $12, and we were pleasantly shocked at how nice it is. Over the year that we've had it, about a year? Something like that. Over the year that we've had it, I've realized it stopped staying in tune. She won't stay in tune anymore. And like to the point, ooh, do you hear that? That's supposed to be my highest string. Okay, I'm gonna tune it, and I want you to hear what happens. Can you hear the pitch dropping? Hear how the string sounds like it's slowly falling off a cliff? And it's just gonna continue to go. It's because, and like all of the tuning pegs are doing that. It's because all of these little tuning pegs, can you see, wow, this camera is way better quality when you're really close up to it. Can you see how there are little, like, the 2 little ridges right at the bottom of the peg there? Those are screw lines, right, that you can use it to screw the pegs in. All of them are too far out. So this entire instrument, needs to be unstrung. All of these things need to be turned, and then it needs to be restrung. So that's what we're gonna start with. Send thoughts and prayers. Under the strings is filthy, so it is kind of like a good, it's a good excuse to clean the whole thing. But so that's what we're doing first, friends. How do you feel about that? As I'm saying that, I realize now I shouldn't unstring the whole, okay, yes, I am going to unstring the whole thing. Tedious is the perfect word for it. Tedious. That's part of the reason we're doing this live, so you can continue to ask me stuff or talk at me, or I can just keep talking to myself, because I have run out of things to watch while I do stuff. So that's why we're doing this live, so I don't have to sit at home and do nothing with my life for hours while I just stare at this lyre. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to loosen up all of these strings right now. I was just going to say maybe I shouldn't loosen them all up at one time, because then I might lose track of which string goes where. But the way this works, this is the bottom side of it. See these little holes? In the holes, there are ball ends of the strings, right? So it goes all the way through, the strings go all the way through this wooden chunk. So it's threaded through there, which means I can loosen the strings without any concern about losing them, because I'll just leave them there. So the number of people who, so something that's interesting about the instrument petting zoo is like, I have to go put, see, we can keep each other company. You can keep me on your phone and I can talk at you while you do your tedious thing. Or if you're at work and you want to just put me on in the background while you do whatever thing you're doing that's hopefully less tedious than the things that we're doing. You know, Lady Raven has lots of stuff going on right now, so I know she probably does have lots of like tedious building-esque things to do. I will say this is taking me way less time than I thought it would to undo. I'm going to take a quick picture real fast because I want to remember that the strings wind from this side. Okay, I guess that makes sense. That's like a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey kind of thing, right? Thank you. Recording went pretty good. I am actually going back on Friday. Oh, I was like, Justin, didn't you listen to the podcast? Why don't you know? Because I recorded it yesterday and it comes out tomorrow. That's why you don't know yet. Yeah, it was really good. Some of it went differently than we thought it was going to. Both Tyler and I literally, as we walked out, were both like, that wasn't what I expected, but that's for the best. Like she mixed and mastered the tracks like right in front of me, which meant I did kind of have to like sit there and watch her do it. So that's part of my time that I paid for, but also like, duh, I needed to be there for that. Like it's my music that she's like cutting and clipping, and so it was really cool. She made it really easy. Her name is Gwen at Blacklight Productions. These strings are filled. God, should I put new strings on this too? I've got a set. Shut up. That's my cat, Ellie. Ugh, do I want to put new strings on it? Okay, we're going to do one issue at a time. So yes, I will be back in Blacklight. Oh, no, the bridge isn't. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Bridge is not glued on. Which makes sense. It's not glued on in a lot of string instruments, actually. So it makes sense. And it goes this way. Gonna take a picture of that. That's actually something I fought a lot with. Does that say boil? Do I ever what? That can't be right. What? I'm gonna look that comment up on YouTube because I've got too many. I don't know. I don't have my glasses on. Show me my own live video, but don't make me listen to it. Yeah, that comment's gone. Ask me that again. Did you say boil strings? Or ball? I'm so intrigued. I did hoard broken guitar strings for a while there. My friend Nikki. Ooh, you filthy. Do we have pledge? No, I don't really want to use anything wet on this anyway. My ex used to boil. I'm Googling this. No, I've never done that, but I'm so intrigued. Can you clean strings by boiling them? Clean. I'm going to start with guitar strings. Boil. I'm so intrigued by this concept. Boil in water with white vinegar and then dry and wipe down with methylated spirits. I'm speechless. I've never boiled strings before. Wow. I mean, my brain's like on fire. I guess that makes sense, right? That it would work. I'm looking at these like, what would you do if I boiled you? Because when I rub my fingers on these, they look filthy when you're up close to them. They're not shiny anymore, the thicker ones. This lyre has like a, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a nylon string guitar or like a classical guitar. When you look at those, the three bottom, like the lower strings are thick metal ones, and then the three upper strings are thin nylon. The lyre's kind of the same. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strings on this one are thick, and then the rest of I think there's 10 more, are really thin. And so all the thin ones are really shiny still, but all the thick ones are gross because they have winding that picks up like dirt, or could have been rusting, but nothing comes off when Man, I'm real intrigued. If I'm gonna try that with different strings. I'm afraid to do that to the lyre strings because, like I said, this was a very cheap instrument. Like a very, very cheap instrument. And I've got exactly one set of replacement strings for it. And I don't know where I'm going to get another set of strings for specifically this instrument. It might be easier than I think it is, but so I'm going to reserve these for when these inevitably do actually break. But I'm very intrigued. I'm going to save some guitar strings. Oh my god, that's perfect. Where did I do with them? I put them somewhere. They were just right here and then it was annoying me. But I just took all of the, I just took all of the old strings off of my little blue guitar and put on a full matching set because I didn't have, I just had been like changing strings when I broke them, and often I don't bother. I have kind of like a cluster of strings in there. They're not all the same brand, like they're not all the same like thickness, they're all different, and I don't often like when grabbing a string to change a string often mid-show. I don't always make sure to grab like, oh, I'm using a bunch of these, so I should grab a matching one. So to get ready to prepare to record last week, I took all of the strings off my guitar and put 6 matchy new ones, but I saved the ones I took off because they were still fine and not broken. But you know what they also were? Filthy! So I'm gonna boil those and see what happens, because I don't, you know what I mean? I don't need those desperately. If I overboil them or whatever, like, my wallet won't suffer too bad. But I gotta say, it is pretty satisfying to get like into the instrument and know like it's clean now. I got it now. Looks a lot better. Alright. Now I'm gonna start tightening them all and then I'm gonna restring it all. So, but yes, that's part of the reason I'm live. This is gonna be incredibly tedious, like incredibly tedious. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Oh wow, this is gonna be like so much easier. And I'm out of stuff to watch. Everything I own and I've ever seen, I've seen 100,000 times. I need to do recommendations of things. Open if you've got anything. I really want to watch The Golden Age because I missed Downton Abbey and that seems like the next closest thing. But we don't have HBO and I don't want to pay for it. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so much easier. By the way, this is a harp key. This is how you have to tune stuff like this and the auto harp. I'm gonna come show you real close like. So it looks like an Allen wrench, but then if you look at it, it still looks like an Allen wrench. Oh my god, I get to do the influencer thing. Can you see it's like a square? If I get farther away, can you tell that's a square in there? Oh yeah, I haven't watched Mystery Science Theater in a long time. I used to, my parents were actually like super into it. I remember my dad watching a lot of it. I know Tyler likes it too. Maybe that's what we should be putting on. But so yeah, this is my harp key. It should all, I believe it works on my auto harp. I used to have a purple one. And I don't know where that went, which really bums me out. And I bought that when I was teaching the first year, because my very first year teaching orchestra, I inherited an 8th grader in the orchestra who played Celtic harp, which I did not know how to teach or play, nor did I have any music that featured or even included a Celtic harp part. And the orchestra teacher I was replacing was the one teaching her harp, I think, and had only taught her how to play in treble clef. Harp's like piano, where you have to read treble clef and bass clef at the same time. Like if you look at like violin music, it's one line of music. If you look at piano music, it's 2. It's always 2, because the bottom line is usually your left hand, the top line is usually your right hand, to like very much simplify it. But so she'd only been taught to play with her right hand, and she couldn't read bass clef music, so she couldn't actually play harp parts. So even if I found something with a harp part, she couldn't play it. So that was a hard year. But anyway, I bought myself a harp key because she didn't have one, and so she couldn't tune her instrument. The only way she could tune her instrument was me. So I like begged her parents to get her one for Christmas that year, and I think they did. I do think she quit playing after that year when she went to high school, but I do think they did buy her a harpy. They're not expensive. There was no reason for her not to have one. Wow, this is gonna be like so much nicer. Some of these need to go a little farther. We really just like, we're really bad about watching. We haven't watched through like a series in a while. We watch a lot of YouTube, partly because Tyler pays for like YouTube Premium, so we don't get commercials, which is like, oh my God. Not getting ads to stuff is like such a dream. You know what I mean? When we have to watch like, we don't really watch anything on like Hulu anymore because there's ads in it, and I'm not paying extra for more no ads and stuff like I'm just annoyed by it. So we just don't watch a lot of TV anymore. Okay, one more. Oh my God. This is taking less time than I anticipated. These do turn, I guess it shouldn't have shocked me. Like, oh my gosh, these turn so easy. Like, yeah, that's why they're not keeping the strings in tune, because they turn so easy. Duh. Okay. You know what? I just want to see what happens if I do this to a string. Nothing. Okay, if the Lysol wipe says you're clean, then you're clean. That's my attitude. Yeah, so I don't pay for YouTube, but I just like log into Tyler's all the time. I mean, I'm literally like using Tyler's computer right now. Like I said, we did drill a hole through the wall. So behind you is a solid wall, and then behind that wall is our actual office where Tyler's computer is. But we did drill a hole through the wall, and we passed a cord through. So via the magic of HDMI cords and Bluetooth. So what that means is I can just use the TV that I use in here as my computer screen and just pull up YouTube on his Google, and then there's no ads. But God forbid I watch something on my YouTube app on my phone. 3 unskippable ads for a 30-second video? I don't think so, my dude. I feel like a boomer complaining about it, but it's like, it's not right. It's not acceptable. It's just not. It's just not. Okay. Hang on. I want to make sure I get the angle of the strings correct. And now that I've unstrung it, what I really should do, I shouldn't go like across. Oh shoot, the bridge. I have to put this back under, or the strings are going to sound real weird. There we go. You can't glue this down. You cannot glue a bridge down. Whether it's this kind of weird bridge, or like a violin bridge, or a cello bridge. If your child joins orchestra in the future, don't glue their bridge to their instrument, for the love of God. Your kid's orchestra teacher will later cry themselves to sleep that night. Ask me how I know. Because I've been that orchestra teacher. So the bridge has to be able to vibrate, because this little wooden piece is what takes the vibrations of the strings and passes it through to the rest of the instrument, where the hole is in the acoustic sound box, so it bounces around, right? Same thing for like a violin, viola, etc., etc. So if you glue it down, it doesn't vibrate right anymore, and your instrument sounds like trash garbage. And your orchestra teacher cries herself to sleep. Okay, we're gonna tune this one and then see what happens, because I am gonna be a little bit heartbroken if this doesn't actually fix it. And I don't quite have enough hands to do all the things I'm trying to do. Oh, and I also now need a tuner. One of the reasons I picked this lyre, I forgot what instrument this was called for a second. One of the reasons I picked this one is because the letter name notes are at the top of the strings, which one just makes it way easier for me to tune. Like way easier, but it also means it's more attainable for anybody who does have like a concept of letter name notes than anybody who walks up can play. Like if you've played a recorder and you know that hot cross buns is B-A-G, B-A-G, G-G-G-G, A-A-A, B-A-G, and you find B-A-G on this instrument, which you do in 3 different octaves, it's already appropriate or approachable for you. It's already a thing. think I got it. I think it's gonna work. Yo. Okay, so now what I have to do, and I should have taken all the strings off like this, but once I did the first one and realized it wasn't gonna take me that long, I didn't feel like I needed to worry about it. But now I need to, instead of stringing it across this way, hang on, my strings are so tangled. Come on. Give me my string back. Give it to me. It's mine. Give it. Oh, ow. Some of these little tiny strings they get a little needle-like because they're very thin, and if you catch them in the pad of your fingies, it hurts real bad. Ow. Man. Oh man, it got me good. Shucks. That's never happened on the lyre before. I get cut on the auto harp strings all the time because they are very sharp and sticky outy, and I can't quite clip them close enough. I was actually planning to grab a set of nail clippers when I get to the auto harp so that I can clip those even closer, hopefully, because that's one of the reasons, like, we insist on getting the instrument for you. If you grab the auto harp the wrong way, she's gonna poke you. And it hurts, and you'll bleed on my instrument, and I don't know what to do about that. So it's just easier if you let us do the hard stuff and get it for you. So I wrote up a whole thing that I need to post, but I haven't yet because I don't want anybody to get mad at me. But I do need to post it. I have a whole thing about the menagerie that needs to go up that's about, like, rules and expectations, basically. Hang on, I'll get my picture of this one more time. That's why you take pictures. Okay, I did do that backwards. So what I'm realizing is lyres get strung reverse of most things that I'm used to stringing, and the string gets put underneath the winding of the extra string instead of on top of it, which is rare. I don't know what that is. It's close enough. But yeah, like I was saying, so I have like a whole thing I wrote up about the menagerie and about how like we hope to be treated while we're in there. And I'm not trying to get canceled, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I also like need people to adjust their behavior in the menagerie a little bit. So I wrote a whole thing out, and then I showed it to Tyler, and he didn't say it like mean or anything, but he was kind of like, what's the point of putting this on Facebook? Like, the people who need to see this aren't on Facebook. And I was kind of like, you're not wrong, but if I don't say it somewhere, I don't start the ball rolling somewhere, I'm never going to be able to say it to someone in person. You know what I mean? It's hard to tell somebody, hey, you're wrong, when they're telling their kid about your instrument. Because you don't want to be rude. You just don't want to be rude. But sometimes people need to be corrected. So. Okay, it stays better than it did before. We're gonna go with that. And one improvement at a time. Yeah, I did a podcast episode a couple weeks ago too about just like please don't actually us in the menagerie. It's just uncomfortable, you know what I mean? Maybe you could. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put something up. Can I be real with you? I want to print I want to get an extra copy of both of our degrees in music education and hang them in the tent. That's what I think I want to do. Tyler thinks that's stupid, and he's not wrong. It is dumb. But it's just like, I know you're at a Ren fair. I know you don't have any reason to know who I am or anything, but people who come into the tent and immediately assume that we don't know how to play stuff and we just are there to show it to you, I guess. That we're just there to exist. Or hand you stuff and not teach you about it. Not very nice. So, and in this post I'm gonna put up eventually when I stop being scared of getting canceled. Sometimes people come in and they tell their friends the wrong things about the instruments. And then I have to decide, like, do I want to make you look stupid in front of your friends? Are you going to be cool about it and realize I'm not trying to make you look stupid? I'm just trying to teach you because you're in my educational experience and I'm a teacher? You need to go get the shelving started. Have fun. Good luck. Ugh. I'll be here with my tedium while you're doing your tedium. Like, if I let you walk out of my music education experience that has my name on it and you learn something incorrect, like, I don't like that. Even if it's your friend's fault and I didn't tell you that thing and it was your friend that told you that wrong thing, it still feels bad to me. You know what I mean? I want you to learn things correctly, or as correctly as is reasonable in the very short amount of time you're spending in the Menage. I know so little about me. I mean, so now I'm like, I gotta find an instrument that forces people to play barefoot. I bet there's one out there somewhere. That's the thing. I have a degree in music education. If we went to an instrument petting zoo experience, the only instrument I would ever feel comfortable doing anything like that with is the viola, because I am literally a classically trained violist. But I would still never, ever, 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 like, presume and start teaching without being asked. I might mention that I play the viola. I probably am not going to play it at an instrument petting zoo because I already know how to play that thing, and I want to play the weird thing over here that I've never played before. I don't know. That's what I want people to come in and do. You know what I mean? If you know how to play guitar, don't come in and play guitar. If you have a guitar at home, this is not your opportunity to show off. Go try something else. We have like 8 billion other instruments in here that are similar to guitar that you will feel, honestly, probably pretty cool about if you would just try it. And also, stop telling your friends things wrong about my guitar. Why does that sound weird? Oh. Okay. It's happening, folks. It's really happening. This is so much better. But yeah, like, that's part of my motivation just for even doing this right now, is because I get so many comments from people about tuning of instruments. So much. A lot of it is not respectful in any way, shape, or form. Sometimes I have to remind people that we are, in fact, outdoors. And that sometimes we are in, like, a very swampy location or a very dry location, and that has an effect on the instruments, and that we are, once again, outdoors, and that instruments are played by children all day who do often make a break for the tuning pegs because they think that's what you're supposed to do to play it for some reason. Every little kid wants to touch the tuning pegs of every instrument. So when I get people who sit down to play my guitar, this is what happens. I get somebody who walks in, an adult, who doesn't ask and doesn't wait to be helped. They just go pick up the guitar, start playing it, put it down, and get mad that it's not in tune, and leave. The end. Like, that's an experience I've had multiple times. And it's like, a couple of times when that's happened, it actually was in tune. So I don't know what that guy's problem was, unless maybe he just always plays in drop D and just doesn't know it. Like, I've had multiple times where somebody has said to me, this is out of tune, and they were wrong. Just flat wrong. Like, it wasn't. And it's such a weird, I don't know what that is. What do you think that is? Is it like a power thing? Is it like I don't know. I just don't know. I don't understand. Just come in and make a joyful noise. What's the problem? I brought all this stuff to wherever we are from Ohio. Just come play it and make a joyful noise. And that's part of the reason I'm so stuck on it, is that actually happened. So Magpie's Musical Menagerie was officially launched at the Ohio Yuletide Festival in December of 2024. Technically my first menagerie gig. And at that gig, we had a lady who grabbed my lap harp and started tuning it without asking. That's truly what it is, and it's like, and that's why I feel like I need to have our degrees up, because people are like, well, I'm right, and it's like, you're allowed to think I'm right. Like, I'm allowed to be right. It's okay if you're wrong. You are a human being, and we are fallible. That's like our whole thing. It's like the whole human experience. Anyway, the notes, the letter name notes are literally on the side of this. Like it says G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp G, A, B, like all the way up. This woman came, tuned it to the wrong notes, didn't finish, and then just walked away. I will never forget her. I know exactly what she looked like. I am not good with a face at Ren Fair, but I know exactly what this woman looked like, and I can even tell you what her winter coat looked like. It was not this, it wasn't like magpie teal, it was darker green, but it was that, and it was like a puffy coat. I will never forget her as long as I live. She tuned it to G, G sharp, A, B flat, B. She tuned it like, for what reason? I don't know. I don't know. She got her whole phone out and was tuning it anyway. So then after that, I had to fix the entire thing. And like she didn't ask. At least I appreciate it when people ask beforehand, because I don't know, that usually, if you have the like, not quite professionalism, but if you have the respect for my instrument to ask before you tune it, I'm going to most likely say yes, because that means you know how to. That means you probably play and you recognize that it's like a little bit rude to tune somebody else's instrument without asking, especially when you don't know that person and you just walked into their tent and started playing their instruments for the first time ever. Like, if you ask me if you can tune it, I'm probably going to be like, oh yeah, thank you for asking. That's like 99% of the time. Okay, this is string 6 of 19. And then like those people usually have like a tuning app on their phone, which says to me like, you do play an instrument, like, because you need this enough that it's on your phone already, because we're at a fair, so you probably don't have good enough signal to like download one real fast. So if you have a tuning app, you're probably okay to tune my stuff, especially, gosh, oh, blast it. Especially because you asked. So that's just been, I don't know. As the menagerie gets more and more difficult for us to do, just because it grows more, there are more instruments and more people coming in. So it's just, it's just becoming like a little bit more of an ask, which means my not patience. I am still remarkably patient with children. I don't know how I do it sometimes. I feel like I should have used up all my patience while teaching, but I guess not. I don't know. As it just gets harder and harder, I just wish, I just want people to be like a little bit more cognizant that they are walking into what's basically our home away from home, playing our instruments that we've worked hard to get there and maintain and learn to play. These are not, string instruments are not Tyler's thing. I mean, like I said, he wanted to teach orchestra because he was one of the brave band kids that would actually do it. The rest of them are terrified. But he's worked hard to like learn how to demonstrate stuff and make sure he's teaching children how to hold instruments correctly in the most correct way that makes sense to them. And I don't want that to get discredited. When people are rude to Tyler, it makes me want to burn their entire house down. It makes me want to find out who they are and burn their house down. When you're rude to my husband, it makes me want to just, I'm like Mrs. White in Clue, like flames on the side of my face, heaving, burning, like, you are not allowed to be rude to my husband in front of me. Somebody was rude to Tyler at White Hart, and I had to physically walk away from the tent before I started yelling at them. I was very upset. So that'll come out like eventually, but I'm not trying to be like rude. Obviously people are still welcome to come play our stuff. We bring it for a reason. I just want people to be a little bit more respectful when they come into our tent and play our stuff. So I think sometimes people don't expect that, like, yes, when we walk into this tent with all these weird instruments, the people who are helping us are college educated, classically trained musicians. Like, I get that that's not, when you walk into the Ren Fair, that's maybe not what you're expecting, but to assume that, for anybody to just assume, like, walking in that they know more than us is, like, so beyond the pale to me. I don't know. I don't get it, you guys. I just don't get it. My mother raised me better than that. Ow! Ugh! This blessed liar. I'm so excited for it to be more in tune, though. I can't, it's already holding a lot better. Is it going to be perfectly in tune? No, because it was $12 from Temu. But it's going to hold pitches a lot better than it did. This is that's like one of the perks of this thing. Like, to go back to people tuning instruments. Very rarely does somebody carry around a harp key. You know what I mean? And so it's hard for them to tune the lyre for me. It's really hard for somebody to, like, come in and mess with the strings of the lyre. So that's kind of nice. I do appreciate that about it. This lap harp has a key that's, I feel like I shouldn't show you this. It lives in here, and this will fit the lyre. I can't believe I just told you that. And if you ever take advantage of that information, I'll light you on fire. Yes. Like, I've been chewing over doing, like, it's probably going to be a podcast episode. I was chewing over doing a TikTok, but it's probably safer to do it as a podcast because that's behind a paywall where I can say whatever I want. If you want to know what I've been saying, you got to get behind the paywall. But I have, like, a lot of Ren Fair unpopular opinions. And one of them is that everybody's main character syndrome needs to calm down. Everybody needs to chill out. It's just like, I don't know. Whew, my big unpopular opinion is that absolutely no one should be able to bring an instrument into the Renaissance Festival unless they are a contracted performer. And I know that's a pretty unpopular opinion with a lot of people, and I don't care. I don't think you should be allowed to bring your instrument in. There's no reason for you to have it. You are not performing. If you take advantage of us and busk, I'm going to lose my absolute temper. If you're a bard, you should be able to represent that without carrying a, like, string instrument around with you. Use your imagination. Like, it kills me, too, because people bring, like, very nice instruments into the fair. And then they're like, well, I'm a bard. It's like, why are you doing that to your instrument, man? Like, I get paid to bring these here, and they get paid to suffer, you know? Like, why are you bringing an instrument as, like, a costume piece? I know it's not a popular opinion, but it's one of the few I feel sort of comfortable sharing on the internet. I don't think you should have an instrument at the Ren Fair if you are not a contracted performer. There's no reason. Your instrument doesn't deserve to be out in the sun and weather all like that all day. If you're just going to have it, like, if you're just going to have it and not play it, then why are you treating your instrument like a prop? You know what I mean? I don't know. Unpopular opinions with Magpie. Just don't bring it. If you want to join us, then join us. Like, do the work and become one of us. But don't just, like, show up as a patron one day and be like, well, I brought my baritone. Can I just set up and play here? Yes, your solo unaccompanied baritone music is absolutely appropriate for the Renaissance Fair. Come on in. Not that happened at a fair this year or anything. So, that's just, I don't know. It's not a popular opinion, and I'm sticking with it anyway. Like, I've had people bring instruments to fair because they want me to fix them. That's totally fine with me, especially if you have asked me first. There's a girl at Whiteheart who asked, like, she always, I think I've helped her, like, the last 2 years in a row. I actually don't know if I ever actually got to change her string this year. I don't think I might have. But, like, last year or maybe it was at Christmas. I can't remember. Either way, if you warn me before you bring me an instrument to fix, I'm 100% here for that. If you just show up because you hear the instrument petting zoo is going to be there and you want me to fix your instrument, or worse, hold on to it all day, I really don't like that. It's almost as bad as being asked to babysit your kid all day. Vendors. Man, I just poked the willikers out of my finger again on these tiny little strings. I just hacked off my nails so I don't have anything to get it with. Bollocks. Man. So, but it's okay. I think Mr. Bucket and I were getting a little burned out on the Menagerie. after, what did we do? 5 weeks in southern Indiana. We did 3 weeks in White Hart. And a bunch of like little moving around fairs before that. I think we're getting a little burned out. And now that we're taking all of July off, I think things will be a little easier for us in the menagerie when we get back on the road with it, which isn't until we go to Arkansas at the end of August anyway. So the string is laced so tight, I like cannot get it untwisted to go in at all. And I keep poking my fingers on it. I need like a thimble for this frickin' thing. Evil! This is like reminding me of being a music teacher and like all of the assorted tedious things I've done like this in the past. Let's see here. How am I gonna get this to catch? Ooh. Ooh. Go. Oh my gosh, I've almost got it. Hang on. I can't be funny yet. Hang on, I have to get this stupid string in here. It can't be funny. Can't multitask when the string is being too much of a pain in the tuchus. Come on, you stupid string. Go in. Go. Did I get it? Okay. I have done so many little tedious jobs like this over the years. My first gig teaching, My first gig teaching, I started a guitar club because there was a classroom set of child-sized nylon string guitars in my classroom that hadn't been used since God knows when. And I got hired in 2012. So I had to restring all of them, which was insufferable because those guitars, like many, hang on, you stupid string. Those guitars, like many classical guitars, don't have ball end strings like this does. Like I was showing you earlier, all the little holes in the back down here. There you go. All the little holes, you can see the glint of gold in there. There's little metal balls at the end of the strings that keep it from pulling through. Oh, a lot of classical and nylon string guitars are not like that. And thankfully, I don't have any to show you because they're awful. Honestly, I should have taken one of those guitars with me when I left Bedford. I worked so darn hard on those things. They, instead of getting a ball end where you just slide it through a hole and then it stays, you have to twist them at the bottom down here. There's like, you do like a bunch of like twisting and like you have to use the pressure from the string before that to hold the string you just put on. It's really hard. It took me a long time. I barely even played guitar at the time. I was better than the kids I was teaching, but like really not a good guitarist by any means. It was okay because I was teaching them, I taught them like classical guitar style, right? We didn't really do chords. We learned classical guitar style, which is where you play it like a melodic instrument all the time. So it's like finger picking and why am I doing it from this angle? I don't know. But it's like finger picking and playing melodies instead of just strumming like you do on guitar usually. So I did all those. I also used to, oh my God, the tedium of music education. I also, in that classroom, I inherited it from a teacher who had been there for like, she'd been there for like 30 years. And there was just 30 years of stuff in that room, including the auto harp that I play in the musical menagerie. It's right here. You can't see it. Hang on. There she is. That's from the school I taught at, because I also restrung that, because there were a bunch of them in the closet at the school I taught at that nobody was using anymore. When I was, oh God. So I taught there for 2 years, and then I moved to California, and I didn't get a gig with a school. I worked for a company called Rhythm and Moves, and Rhythm and Moves provides music and PE teachers, not in the same teacher as two different teachers, to schools who have cut those programs. Obviously, the school has to pay for it, but it's much cheaper to them than like paying, salary and like benefits for a teacher. Um, ow! That got embedded in my finger callus. That did not want to come out. Gross. So I worked for them for 5 years, and for 4 of those years, I was the music program director, which meant I had to order instruments and inventory instruments for everybody on our staff, on the music staff. So there were like 15 of us at a time, which means I was responsible for getting 15 people's boxes of recorders ready. So what that would mean is every 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade class that you taught got a box of recorders. I would get your class lists from all the schools you taught at. Some of us taught at 5 different schools at like one different school a day. I would get you to get me your class lists, and then I would go to our stinky instrument storage shed. Only stinky because there was a water treatment plant next to it. And I would organize them all into little plastic Tupperware boxes so that you could just roll up to our storage shed and pick up boxes of recorders that were already perfectly sorted per class with the right amount of recorders per class, with the homeroom teacher's name on them, with the cases numbered so you could just hand them out and know which kid's instrument was what. A lot of that. That was tedious. That would take me days. Because I would have to do my own as well as everybody else's. It was just wild. So, tedium. Okay, we're good with that for now. How many more do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yo! We're making it happen. She does look a lot better now that she's been cleaned. Like, a lot better. This is kind of one of the important instruments from the Menage because it is, it's kind of my most historically accurate instrument, technically. I don't have any, due to the nature of what the instrument petting zoo is, I don't have a lot of motivation to purchase super historically authentic instruments. Does that make sense? Like, I am turning that the wrong way. I don't know that I want to invest in, like, a viola da gamba, a viola d'amore, like, things that are maybe a little bit more historically accurate. I don't know if I want to invest in those and then allow them to travel the country in the dirt and the rain and be in, like, a billion people's hands. You know what I mean? I don't think I don't think traveling with stuff like that would be easy. I don't know. So this is really one of my most historically accurate instruments. And I'm grateful that we do have like a small historical thing. And I'm grateful that while it is cheap and from Temu, it looks nice. So people like to take pictures with it, which is great for the Menage. And it sounds pretty okay for what it is, you know? So that's something else I'm doing. Not to change the subject, but I mentioned I was going to do like a little podcast about like Magpie's unpopular Ren Fair opinions. That's part of one of the things I've got to take off. I'm about to drive on my car. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. My air conditioning stopped working and I'm just going to suffer through it because they told me it was going to be $1,800 to fix it. And I was like, I'll just die. It's fine. I'm good. It's fine. So we'll have fun. Come back and watch the rest of this later. I'm just going to sit here and talk to myself. And then the MagPod will be out tomorrow with more in-depth information about how the recording session went. So if you want to know more about how the first half of recording my EP went, you can look me up on Buy Me a Coffee Magpie Swallows and get my podcast there. just ripping through it. There's no way I'm going to do the auto harp today. How long have I been going for? Oh my god. It's already almost 2:30. Good lord, I can't believe this is taking so long. Yeah, I won't make you watch me do this to the auto harp then, because that would be insufferable. But I am going to hang out a little bit longer and just go through some instruments and what they kind of need over the rest of my July break. I'm really glad that I made this decision. I'm going to give myself the credit for it. Tyler was 100% on board, though. Don't get me wrong. But I'm glad I made the decision to not perform in July this year. I really needed the, like, hang on, I got an email. Cool. I really needed the time off from performing to, like, settle my brain and make an EP happen. It is for sure an EP now. I've decided I'm going to make a 5-song EP because I just want to get it, what am I looking at? Get it done. And then we can start to, like, break into albums. Like, this is kind of like a short kind of best of Magpie's first year or so. And then things are going to get crazy. Like, I want to make, like, a dirty song album, like a full album. I want to make, like, I have this, actually it was Tyler's idea, but now I've got it kind of fleshed out, so I'm, like, very attached to it. This one's really tightly wound too. Hang on. It's going to poke me and I'm going to be upset. Yeah. But, yeah, this was technically Tyler's idea, but I like it a lot and I want to do it. You know the song, like, 1 for Sorrow, 2 for Gold? The song about the magpie? Devil, devil, I defy thee. That one. 1's for sorrow, 2 for gold, 3 for a secret never told. I kind of want to do, like, a concept album around that. Like, so, like, the first song would be sorrowful. And, like, the second song would be about being joyful. And then the third song would be about being a girl. And then the second song would be about a boy. You see what I'm saying? Like, a concept album. That's kind of what I want to do next. And I realized if I record all of my music now, I have a couple songs I really want to use for that I won't be able to use. So, like, I originally did want to use Fair Maiden for the girl song, but I decided I'd rather use something else that I won't tell you yet. So that's next. I'm going to do a 5-song EP, especially now that I've gotten, like, a little glimpse of how recording works. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't feel like we could do this. Tyler wanted us to just do this whole album on our own. And I do think we could have done it, but I think not doing it like this, I think not doing it together by ourselves for the first one was the right move. Because I'm so tense about it, and I'm a little, like, high-strung about it, and I want it to be, like, perfect. It must be perfect in case I never get to record anything else. And I think I would have, I don't know. I didn't want to be that high-strung in a project where Tyler and I were going to work together on something. I think this first one, I needed to have it done professionally so I could feel really, really good about it and kind of get a gist for how it works from somebody who knows what they're doing, like an actual professional. And then after that, now I do feel a little bit more willing to try it ourselves. It would obviously be a lot cheaper. Maybe. The microphones we are using at Blacklight, whoo! Oh my god, I took a picture of it. It is gold and shiny and so beautiful and more expensive than our entire house. Like, I sound so clean. I sound so crisp and clean. I had concerns that I sounded robotic. And Tyler was like, no, this is just what you sound like in high fidelity. Like, you're just not used to hearing your voice like this because we've never, ever gotten to use such nice sound equipment. So that... right now, we assuredly cannot compete with in any way, shape, or form. That's a lot of money and investment that we don't really have space for right now. Last one! Last string! Yes! But I do think in the future we could try to do it ourselves. Now that it won't be the first one that must be perfect because I'm having a stress freak out about it. You know what I mean? Once I've got the first one out and I can chill out a little bit more, I think it'll be more fun for us to work on it together. So the goal so I'm going back tomorrow. I have mastered final copies of Magpie Knows Best and Fair Maiden, and my goal for tomorrow is to get instrumentals done for pretty much everything, and at the very least the vocals to Hot to Go. I mean, On a Boat. Because On a Boat is my shoutiest, yelliest song on this EP. Of these 5 songs, On a Boat is my most, like difficult to sing, takes the most out of the voice. So it's possible that we'll get on a boat's like vocals recorded and then I'll sound like trash and not want to continue recording voices for the rest of the day. But then we can spend the rest of the time recording the rest of the instrumentals for everything, and then I can come in for one last brief recording sesh to do just voices, and then it'll be done. And then I'll have to figure out how to release it from there. It's done. I'm done with the lyre. I can cross this off my list. Not tuned. Let me just give her a brief tune and see what happens. Ooh, I accidentally have that perfectly in tune. Go. Hey! Oh, wow. Okay, that's one major project done. She looks much nicer. Yay. Great. That's done. This does have a case. There it is. So I'm going to do the same thing with the auto harp in the next couple days. I'm not going to do that today because that hurt my fingies. Ow! So I'm going to do the same thing to the auto harp. Some of the tuning pegs, which are similar to the ones that you can see here on the lap harp, are just out too far. So the screws that go into the actual wood of the instrument that actually keep it, you know, tight and turned and tuned, just don't have enough grip in the wood anymore. They're just too far out. So I need to take the string, like I just did with the lyre. I need to take the string off, tighten the peg, and then put the string back on and retune it for a couple strings. I also have some broken ones. This is one whole pack of auto harp strings. I'm going to show you what the auto harp is just in case you don't know what I'm talking about. And also I'm going to dust her off, like literally, because I think she's probably also filthy. It is so nice to have a new case for, God, yeah, she is filthy. So nice to have a new case for this though. This is an auto harp. She is, like I said, she's missing a couple strings. They're mostly the really high ones down here. And you can even see, shut up, girl. If you look, can you see how some of those, oh, this camera now, right. See how some of those silver ones are sticking out way farther? Like this one versus this one, which is right next to it. So some of those need to be evened out. I also, so we replaced the mutes on the auto harp. So what happens when you play auto harp is you press these little buttons, they have the chord on them, and then these little white things mute the strings. So the spaces in between are the only notes that play, because those are the notes that are actually in the chord. We adjusted ours because they broke. We put new ones on. And they shift back and forth. I guess they don't make that much of a difference. Yeah, see how that sounds wrong? So they all need to be pushed down here, I guess. She's not in tune. That's okay. I used to know. Say it ain't so. That'll sound more like the song once I've tuned her. So I'm going to do that another day. I'm not going to make you watch me tune the entire thing. Because I'm going to complain even more about the strings on this one. And there are way more strings. So, like I said, that's a whole pack. That's my hand next to it. Like, that's a whole pack of auto harp strings. I just buy Oscar Schmidt strings. I get these on Amazon. They travel with us. We have a box of strings. These are for the Fender bass I have. These are guitarlele strings, ukulele strings, classical nylon strings. That's a cleaning cloth. I got a lot of ukulele strings in here. This is the broken part of the auto harp that broke, that we fixed. Mandolin strings. So this box, and this has got like rosin in it for our string instruments. This box goes with us to every Menage gig. It has all the instrument fixing stuff in it. So, all right. Well, that hardest part for the day is done. I'm going to save the boom whackers for later. Where am I going? Hello. I'm gonna save the boom whackers for later. I'm gonna take these out and I'm gonna hose them down in the yard. One of the nice things about, you know, teaching and traveling with some plastic instruments is you can just straight up hose them down. So just like I said, all of these buckets, the rest of them are all outside to be drilled in a drainage hole and then to be pressure washed. That was cool. I got these at Dollar Tree. I used to have a bunch of little ones that looked like little plastic like barrels, little tiny, but they were small. And then I got to Dollar Tree this year to look for more glass gems to put in my trade box. And they had these in Magpie teal, and I was like, well, I don't mind if I do. So, like, I'd rather leave these just in a pile on the floor than put them back in this filthy thing. So those are for instruments like these that I'm about to clean off, the egg shakers, the jingle bells, the spoons, and then a lot of, oh God, these are filthy. So just I feel like I'm going to take screenshots of this stream and also put it online, because I know I don't know how to say this and not sound like mean. I don't mean it as like a judgment thing at all, and I hope these parents aren't judging me either. Like, that's filthy too. Whatever, just leave them in a pile. I've had parents whose baby put an instrument straight in its mouth, and I know they were watching me to see what I did with that instrument afterwards. And every time, if you watch me, I put that thing aside. That egg shaker goes. Sometimes Tyler and I have a little, like, just a very small basket kind of off to the side, like it's like on our wagon or like under the tables, that's for like our phones and our keys and stuff like that. And sometimes I slip them in there because if there's an instrument in there, it means it's dirty. It needs to be cleaned. So I feel like this is good, just one good thing to show to parents, like, not that I throw instruments at your child, but that I do in fact Lysol these things. They don't always necessarily get the full, every inch gets Lysoled with a Lysol wipe every time, but they get sprayed and they get cleaned. So, yes, never ever feel bad if your kid puts something in their mouth. If you have a little kid, if you bring your little guy into the menagerie and they try to eat the maracas, it is not a big deal. They get cleaned. That's what it's for. We often and honestly, I think it was Tyler that started saying this, and then I've also started saying it. Our attitude is and has to be, if we didn't want it to get broken, we shouldn't have brought it with us. That's the attitude you have to maintain, because, like, I don't know, because otherwise you'll go crazy. Because 99.99999% of the time, if something happens to an instrument, it wasn't intentional. You know what I mean? It does make me irritated when it happens and it's because somebody wasn't listening to us. On occasion, we have people who, like, will tell them how to hold the instrument, and they will simply tell us no and hold it a different way. When you're a child, you can kind of get away with that, but when you're an adult, you really can't, and it makes me upset, especially if you then drop the instrument because you're not holding it correctly because you believe you know better. Do you see what I mean? I'm not trying to be bitter, but at this point, the experiences are starting to speak for themselves. So something else I used to do, speaking of tedium, when I worked for Rhythm and Moves, so something else I did was everybody got 42 egg shakers, and they had to have 7 of each of the 6 colors that we got. And everyone had 42 sets of rhythm sticks. And everybody had 12 finger symbols. I used to know the whole thing off the dome. Isn't that horrible? 12 finger symbols. And everybody got 42 scarves, like movement scarves that you could use. So Rhythm and Move's big thing was we did everything in rainbow. And I will say, I did love it. This was something Rhythm and Moves taught me that I've I took it into my classroom after that. I didn't do this before that. But Rhythm and Moves did a thing where you, like, color-coded everything so kids could work in groups and be, like, the red team, the orange team. So, like, my kids would come in and there would be... I thought that was more filth. It's just the logo. These are from Classics for Kids. It's part of, I can't think of what the letters are for the classical station downtown in Cincinnati, but they do a Classics for Kids program, and sometimes they donate instruments. So, what was I saying? Oh, so my kids would come in and there would be, on the floor, there would be like buckets in kind of a half circle, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And in each bucket would be all of the instruments that all of my kids would need for that day. So like, and it was kind of like, I always had all of the purple egg shakers lived in the purple bucket. So did all the purple scarves and 7 pairs of rhythm sticks. And then if we were using, say we were using jingle bells that day, then there would be jingle bells in the bucket for that day. And so then you would teach them a lot of like cues, basically, that helped you kind of manage around that. So I kind of I worked really hard and established successfully, I will say, that like you don't reach in the bucket until I tell you to. I wasn't Miss Hill at the time. I was Mrs. Gooley. Isn't that horrible? It was like, you can't reach in until I tell you to. If I see your hands in there, like, you don't get to play any instruments. I'm so sorry. That's your choice. You made a bad one. So we did a lot of, like, the green light word, where I would give, like, directions in groups of 3, never more, and then give the green light word, and then they could start the directions, because kids don't listen if they start moving. You know why I was a successful teacher? Because I didn't know I had ADHD and I thought I was normal. So I just taught the way that made sense for my brain if I was a kid. And surprise, when you teach to the neurodivergent, you teach successfully to everybody. So that was pretty successful. So, and I did a lot of like, like I had a go word and then I had a freeze word. And when I said freeze, they had to put their hands on there. They had to put gently down, gently drop whatever instrument they had. They were usually sitting like this, and then put their hands on their head. Because then I could see you don't have instruments in your hands. I can see them, so you must not be playing them. Sometimes they would get to take their sticks and do this. So, okay. That's where these spoons are from. I bought these for a concert I did a couple times. That was the nice thing about teaching at different schools in different districts, because that was what Rhythm and Moves did. The whole concept of Rhythm and Moves began because the woman who founded us, her name was Sharon, got hired in San Francisco as a PE teacher at the school St. Thomas More in San Francisco. Been there. I've got stories out there. And St. Thomas More wanted her to come every day from 9 to 11, and over the 5 days she would teach everybody K through 8, pre-K through 8. And Sharon was like, can we not do that? Can I instead teach all of your kids in one day? Because then hopefully I can find another Catholic school who will take me to do the same thing on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. Thus Rhythm and Moves was born, because that's exactly what she did. So St. Thomas More is famously our I don't work there anymore, but was famously the first Rhythm and Moves school. A very loyal client. So sometimes you would be teaching in 5 different schools at 5 different districts, because we would try our best to put you at schools that was like close to where you lived, because Rhythm and Moves teachers were all over the place, from north of San Francisco to Santa Cruz, which is a lot. It would be like supervising teachers from like Columbus to like northern, like Florence, Kentucky. It would be kind of like equidistant and like equitime in the car. Because you have to think about it, I'm in the Bay Area of San Francisco, so traffic is horrible everywhere you go. It's horrible. So why was I telling you that? Oh, that was the nice thing about being at all those different schools, though, was like you could do the same concert at 5 different schools and nobody would know, because none of those kids have family members at the other schools or anything. You know what I mean? Like, so I bought these spoons, and then I bought these because I was doing, I did a lot of like around the world concerts, and then we always did the United States for one of them, right? And so I would usually, because I was in California especially, where their history is obviously very focused on like the 49ers and like the gold rush and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Here in Ohio, we learn a lot about pioneer times and log cabin times. In California, their state history that they're most stoked about is the gold rush. So that's what they learn about. So I would always try to do Appalachian music with them because they weren't getting a lot of that. And so the kids that would, whatever class I would make be United States, then would do, I'm the worst. They would do a song called Cumberland Gap, and then I would make them sing Country Roads Take Me Home. If you think everybody didn't cry, you wrong. Oh, everybody cried. Everybody cried. It was wonderful. I got to the point that I would have to tell kids that their goal was to make me cry, and that if they cried, I did a good job, because if I didn't tell them that, then they would get upset when I got emotional because they were doing such a good job. So I would just immediately, before we would like first run through, would just be like, okay, your goal is to make me cry with how special your voices are, and like by how good a job you do, and all that stuff. And so basically the goal was make Mrs. Gooley cry. And oh! Ah! There's a package outside. I might go get it, because it's something you're going to want to see. Let me finish this thought real fast. Oh yeah, so the spoons were for the song Cumberland Gap, which was super cute. It goes, me and my wife and my wife's grandpap all going down to Cumberland Gap. Cumberland Gap, Cumberland Gap. And then the music goes, woo! Isn't that cute? Way down yonder in Cumberland Gap. And then we did like, isn't that cute? But then I got to use that for like 4 more years at all these different schools, because I didn't keep going back to the same schools and nobody ever knew they were repeats. It was awesome. Okay, I'm going to throw my be right back thing up on the screen real fast, because I'm going to be right back, because there's a package outside and I want to show you here and now what they are, because I'm very excited about them. So I will be right back. I'm Magpie, sweet as wine. What's mine is mine, what's yours is mine. So guard your jewels, your fancy gear, but let's be honest, I'm already here. A shiny trinket. Hey, I went and got the box and a pair of scissors. I didn't even notice these were here yet. Didn't notice we got a ring notification telling us that there was a package here. Mr. Bucket is the one who noticed. Oh, I forgot. Mr. Bucket was the one who noticed and messaged me. I didn't even notice. Okay. Oh, wow, these scissors are really good. If my mom is watching, I'm sorry. These are your scissors, and I stole them, I think, when I moved out in July of 2019. They're the only scissors we have in the house. Please don't make me give them back. We lost our kitchen scissors. Isn't that wild? I don't know how we do. I don't know how that's happened. I don't know. Okay. Hey, people who are watching live, you are getting a real live. Please look good. Please look good. Please look good. The fans are here. The Clack fans that I ordered. I haven't seen them. I've only seen the proof. We're gonna open them together. So, it is too late now, but if you did join my Guild Wars team for the Black Rose Society Guild Wars, it's happening August 1st. You will be getting one of these for free for joining the team and being part of the team. You'll also get, can you see it? No, but you will get a sparkly sash. If you have yours from last year, you can keep it and you can get a new one or whichever. Oh my gosh, they're so good already. Okay, so they come with a little case, which I do think is nice because you can't really just put this on your, you could just loop this on your belt and then have a little pouch for it, which I do think is nice. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Okay, so this side when you slide it out says Magpie Swallows. Woo! Okay, you ready? I'm going to flip it towards me first. I get to see the design first. They're my fans. Okay. Please look good. Please look good. Aww. They're perfect. Yay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with those. They clack real good. Oh. That's the real quality test, right? That's a good sign. So, these will be for sale at live Magpie events, gigs that I'm at, or Magpie shows, or Red Fairs that I'm at. I think I may also make them available on Buy Me a Coffee. So you don't have to be a Buy Me a Coffee member to shop the store there. They do have a little store front page. So if you'd like a butt banner, if you remember what those are, I make those now. They're back. You can order one there. You can order a mug banner, which is a butt banner, but that goes around your mug instead, which is very cute. Or you can purchase one of these. I'll make it so you can buy one of those there. You can purchase something else I have for sale up there is a personalized verse for a song. So if you've always wanted to be like in Dirty Wellerman, for example, if you want a Twiddles verse about yourself, something like that. If you want a personalized verse to a song, even if it's a song I don't have listed there, if you've got one that's like you want your own little personalized chunk of the song, let me know. I sell that there too. When the album is available, both physical copies and digital downloads will be available there too. So, man, these are cute. Really, I'm loving having my name right there. Hang on, I'm going to get in real close so you can see it. Look how cute. Yes. I'm also going to make it so you can purchase these personalized, which is part of the reason they've got so much space off to the side. I can sign it if you want. I can kiss it if you want. I can glitter spray paint it if you want. I can do all of the above. We'll have slightly higher prices for those, just because like I'll have to buy like a sealant to put over the lipstick kisses so they don't come off and they don't like bleed if it rains onto your fan and stuff like that. So but yeah, you can order your own slightly customized one. I'm looking at these cases like I think I could personalize these if you wanted. Let me know if that's something people would be interested in. Like, do you want your name on the case? Do you want it to say, or you could have it say Magpie Knows Best? Oh man, so many options. So if you want like a personalized, if that's something you think is worth exploring, you let me know. Like a little personalized little pouch for it. But they're here. They made it. So all of my Black Rose Society Guild Wars teams members will be getting one for free. You'll be the first people to get them. And then they'll be officially on sale in person for the Great Camelot Renaissance Fair. I'm doing both weekends in August. The first weekend is in Peru, Indiana. We just moved locations and I like just saw it today, so I don't remember. We were at the International Circus Hall of Fame last year, and I think we've moved partly actually I think to help preserve the circus museum grounds, but also because parking will be a lot easier. I believe we're at like the next closest county fairgrounds, but I couldn't tell you where that is. And then we'll be in Carrollton with the same folks the next weekend. Don't they look good? I'm really, really happy with them. Imagine us all on the boat with these. Insufferable. A Wren cruise full of people with loud Magpie clack fans. Oh no. So, but yeah, those will be. Oh hey, yeah, these. Oh, lady, Auntie Raven, I want you to see these because you just got back, and you're gonna be getting one, Auntie Raven, because you signed up to be a Guild Wars team member. Look, they came. Yay! So you'll be getting one of those. I was talking about you can get them personalized. I'll kiss them. I'll spray paint them. Glitter. I'll sign it if you want, etc. And I was talking about maybe I can personalize like they come in little pouches. I might be able to personalize these too. We've got a cricket. We've only begun to explore what that thing's capable of. I'm keeping this one. This one's mine. Yeah, this one's mine. But I got a whole box full of them here. We ordered 100. And then once they're gone, we'll figure it out. The other things I'm looking at next are acrylic pins. Because I got a lot of people saying that that's the thing that they would probably most like. The things that people said the most were like acrylic pins. Bugger. And magnets. Now, you can already get Magpie magnets on my Redbubble page. So I figure I don't need to work too hard on those. But I do want to get like acrylic like stick pins instead of like the buttons that I have as well. Because I do prefer like a stick pin that you can put a pin lock on. I prefer those too myself. So I'm working on those because Redbubble doesn't make those. And then I've got these now. You can still get a button pin. I've got stickers. I've got guitar picks with my logo on them. And they've got a little QR code on the back. Well, I will save one for you either way. I hope you can. I really hope you can. Even if, and like I said, the goal of my team at Black Rose Society Guild Wars is not to win. Do I want to lose? No, let's not aim from the bottom. But like, I'm just here for the vibes. You know what I mean? Like last year, the reason I'm so stoked about this is like it's something I don't have to plan. Especially last year, like I planned so much and I went all over the country. So to have like a 1 weekend event last year, a 1 day event even that was local, that I didn't have to plan, that I could just show up for and be there with people who like are my actual friends and like want to just hang out and not have to be like at work. You know what I mean? It's a really fun gig. It's a good like little Venn diagram of stuff for me. Like I still get to do Magpie-ish things. I'm still Magpie, but I am not at work. I'm not beholden to be nice to anybody. I can get drunk. I don't have to sing anything. So it doesn't matter what my voice sounds like. Yeah. I'm hoping that Guild Wars is a little less physical challenge than it was last year, and it's a little more like brain power, because I do think that's what sunk us last year. None of us, my team was there for like puzzles and like brain puzzles and brain teasers, And secretly it was Ren Fair Field Day. And we were just like not mentally prepared. Yeah, see, that's exactly, but that's like another one I barely have to plan that. Like, I get to plan that one. That's more like friends and family show, so it's not so like, I was really nervous for the first one last year, but it was more because I was nervous about the show I was actually doing rehearsal for, so it was just a big ball of anxiety. I can take 50-50. Like, if I have to be the one who does like running and stuff, I can suck it up. Me and Mr. Bucket can suck it up. John Reams joined our team this year, and also a child. And I believe in child labor. I don't want to say her name online because I'm not her mother, but we do have a youth on our team this year. So I have a good feeling about the physical challenges. Like, a really good feeling. I might actually text... This child is the granddaughter of a friend who will also be there, and so maybe I'll just text her and be like, you gotta get this kid in physical conditioning now. Get her running laps. Like, make her do the egg spoon walk. Like, make her do a burlap sack race. Like, just get her to do traditional field day stuff so she's ready to go. Get your kid in conditioning. So it'll be okay. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not fussed about it. How long have I been live for? My God, I've been going for like 2 hours. Time flies. Is there anything else I feel like I really need to... I mean, I'm going to sit here and clean stuff for the next, like... You probably do, yeah. I'm going to do just a little bit more cleaning. Ugh! I ran and got this box because Mr. Bucket texted me that they were here because I hadn't paid attention to the Ring camera. I didn't see them show up on the Ring camera. So... I am going to get just a couple more things done in here. We've really gone through like a lot of reorganizing with instruments this year as well. We used to bring 4 of these wooden boxes with us everywhere. And Tyler very kindly was that's how I know he really means something and he like really needs me to do it, is he was like, if we can get rid of some of these boxes, like, that would really help. And I was like, okay, fine. I like them. I like having the wooden boxes. We just finally got like a little shelf. Like a little, it looks like a ladder, and then it folds out and there's just little shelves. But we didn't have any, we like literally just got that. We didn't have anything like that before. So I liked to bring the boxes and just stack them up, and then they were little shelves. But they do take up an absurd amount of space in the car. So we've got it narrowed down to 2, which I feel pretty good about. I'm going to be honest with you, this box is also filthy. So what's going to happen is I'm going to clean all these instruments, and then they're just going to sit on the floor on the clean carpet while I hose all of these boxes and buckets off, and then they'll get put in things tomorrow. Well, I can think of worse things. That's fine. They're inside at the very least. We also, it's in the other room, but like shouts out to my friend Lady Scarlet the Firebird. Much love to you too. Yes, I was thinking of him specifically. I was thinking of my little monkey friend when I scheduled this one, thinking he would probably enjoy getting to see all the things and all the stuff. I did bust out the boom whackers that he got to play. I was saying I'm not even going to bother to clean. Like, look how they got. You know how the tent was. You were there. You saw what it was like. This one, I'm just going to take those outside and hose them off. Those are a lost cause. But earlier I restrung the entire lyre. So hopefully my little monkey friend enjoys watching that back. That was part of my motivation for scheduling this today. Because I don't have to edit a live video. It's much easier to just get those out. So, but yeah, shout out to my friend Lady Scarlet the Firebird, fire performer at White Hart Renaissance Fair, and I'm sure lots of other places. I just haven't had the fortune to cross paths with them elsewhere. This is called a tongue drum, often called a rain drum because people put them out in the rain under their gutters. But it is called a tongue drum because it's got all these little tongues. Where's the stick for this? Gone into oblivion. But you can hear each of the tongues has a different tone. Lady Scarlet the Firebird gave us one that's like this big. So now we have a little one that's really high pitched and a big one that's low pitched, which is really good for like beginning musicians. That's it's kind of like I love you guys too. It's very mutual. I lost my train of thought. Oh, that's kind of one of the basic like singing bowl. You are filthy. One of the main things that we teach in like kindergarten music, it's like a national standard of music ed. It should be a state standard at like every level. Is teaching like musical opposites in kindergarten. Just like the very, very, very basic vocabulary, because like when you're listening to music, right, and you want like your friend has the remote to turn the volume up, or your friend's in charge of the volume or whatever, what do you do to tell them to make it louder? You tell them to turn it up, right? So little kids already associate up with loud, and then you have to teach them, you have to like take that and like break it and teach them that loud and soft, high and low, and fast and slow are all three different opposites, like that don't necessarily have to go together. Like one of my favorite kindergarten things to do is like doing things fast and quiet, or doing it slow and loud, because to them fast and loud go together, slow and quiet go together. You are either on a roller coaster or you are singing a lullaby. There is no in between. So like breaking those connections of, well, fast is always loud, and doing weird combinations like that really helps with them. So having an instrument that's exactly the same, little, big, high, low, really, really helps with those like very basic beginner like physics concepts. Because that's what it is, right? Music's all physics. God save us all. It's all math and science. Imagine how much dumber I would be if I hadn't started playing the viola in 5th grade. Never would have passed Algebra 2. And that's something that you can often see. You see it with little kids playing cello. For some reason, well, not, I know exactly why. Since the cello sits against you, and we make a big point of setting little kids up so that it does sit against them, so that it's at least sitting, like touching their chest a little bit, even if they are way too small for it. Because that's a lot of the magic of the cello, is that you can really feel the vibrations that you create with that instrument. And it's like you can see kids' brains being like, sound is vibrations. Vibrations is sound. Sound waves. Wave vibrations, sound waves, physics. It's like you can see them starting to put together like this plus this equals this. It's just really interesting. It's a really interesting little... It's a really easy way for kids to recognize, like, when I make a sound, it creates vibrations. And the vibrations are the reason that I have a sound at all. So, it's cool. It's like this one, too. Like... Watching kids figure out that it's just, this is a spring, it's not a string, it's a spring, and that just the little drum skin right here, and then the tube here is enough to turn, like, the vibrations of shaking a spring into. So, it's just cool. Like I said, I was talking about God, these instruments are filthy! I was talking about when I taught at Rhythm and Moves in California. What was I gonna say? Oh, every year Rhythm and Moves had like a focus. For a couple years it was mindfulness. Usually we didn't repeat years, but one year we did mindfulness, and then the next year we did like mindfulness part 2, because we all really liked it so much. Which is why I also got like a lot of social emotional learning training there. I got to go to a Sanford Harmony training in La Jolla. Bougie, and they paid for the whole thing. Oh, and it was my birthday weekend, so I got to spend my birthday weekend alone in the most beautiful hotel in La Jolla. It's like a very gorgeous beach town in San Diego. It's like offensively expensive. But one year, I guess that was my first year, or my very first year, our focus was connect to Common Core. Remember Common Core? There's a phrase I haven't heard in a while. I don't even know if we're still doing that in schools. But the whole thing was like, yes, we teach PE and music, but can we teach sight words? Sight words are words that children should, in theory, be able to recognize on sight without having to sound them out. Like, and they're short words, like run, hit, like short words, can, do, don't. Or like adding, like making math into your music lessons and stuff like that. So my brain is kind of wired to do that, to like look for the cross-curricular opportunities in my music classes. There we go. There's the tongue drum mallet. Look how little it is compared to like no wonder I lose that all the time. Okay, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more finger cymbals. I'm going to give... will he sit? I've never tried this. No. I really want to put a magnet on the bottom of Jumbo Jerry now and put a magnet on my garb. Look how cute he looks. Look how cute he is. This is Jumbo Jerry. If you haven't heard the story, Jumbo Jerry was a gift from a child when I was teaching in California. This was one of my schools in Pacifica. I taught at a couple schools in Pacifica. Pacifica is just south of San Francisco. It is the foggiest part. It's regularly called like the fog capital of the world. And one of the schools I worked at, I got to work there all 5 years of California, and it was literally down like across the street from the beach. Like sometimes I would go eat lunch at the beach. It was wild. But similar to how I bought these spoons for a themed concert. That was the thing. I bought those, so when I left California, I took those with me. Like, some instruments... Yeah, every instrument I walked out of Rhythm and Moves with was something I had bought personally, and then I think people didn't realize I had purchased some of them on my own, and then when they were gone, they were upset, but sorry, I bought it myself, and I had the receipts to prove it. Anyway, another kind of instrument I had purchased for a concert was I bought a bunch of these little scrapey frogs. I had bought a bunch of really little ones, like child-size thingy ones. What did I buy those for? Because another year, this was like my 4th year there, I think, not my last year. I taught at a school. I was going to say STEM, but it wasn't a STEM school, a STEAM school. So a STEAM school is STEM plus A for arts. So I was there once a week, and I taught in the STEAM lab, which had like a bunch of like 3D printers and like a green screen corner and stuff. It was a very difficult place to teach music in. But in the spirit of doing like STEAM themed music, the whole concert I did with them was like science themed. I had one I don't remember what grade, but I had one group of kids doing a song called, it was like the 3 states of matter, and it was like solid, liquid, gas. Solid, liquid, gas. And they just loved it, just ate it up. It was so dumb. But at the end of that, all of them together, K through 5, God help me, got up on stage and did this big piece together that created like a rainforest sound. So like the little kids sang, and then the bigger kids had to do all the instrument parts. And there were a lot of instrument parts, like a lot of instrument parts. The whole thing was supposed to be like a sound portrait of like things layered over each other. So I bought a bunch of those little scrapey frogs to be our Amazon tree frogs. And the next day, a kid from that class, the class that played the frogs, brought him in and was like, my parents bought this on a cruise in Mexico 5 years ago and no one's ever touched it. So they said you could have it. And I was like, okay. So he's been with me ever since, which was fun because then I would have little guys play the frogs and I would play Big Frog. And it would be like, ooh, do you get to play Big Frog? Were you on your bestest behavior? Do you deserve a reward? You get to play Big Frog. And then last year I went to Montana for the Montana Run Fair, and a little girl, I didn't do stage shows, I was just the menagerie, and a little girl walked up and she picked him up and she went, do you know his name? And just like that, that's not an exaggeration. She was like 6 or 7, like not like first grade, maybe a very precocious second grader. And she's like, do you know his name? And I was like, no, you know what? He really doesn't have a name. I've just always called him Big Frog. She was like, that's Jumbo Jerry. Like, duh. Like she had communed with him and she was like offended at the thought that I hadn't. So he's been Mr. Bucket's home. He's been Jumbo Jerry ever since. And I do love him dearly. He's one of my favorite instruments in there. So, okay. What time is it? Yeah, I think it's about time to wrap stuff up. Do you want to come say hi, Mr. Bucket?
Sure.
Just be careful opening the door.
Okay.
Ugh, there we go. I had a box in front of it. And then I moved the camera down here. Actually, it fell, but...
Hello.
You to get down.
Oh.
Our little friend is going to watch this later. We don't refer to him by name because it's
right.
The internet, but...
Hello.
Oh, there you go.
Here's my head. Hello. Are these the fans? Have you looked at them yet?
Yes, look, here, I opened one. This one's mine. And they're so loud.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right? Do it to yourself.
Oh, they're pretty fans.
Yeah, they're strong. They're good. And they're I love the name on the side. The name on the side looks good. Yep. Look at that, how loud that is.
Yeah, peaking. Well, here you go.
Yeah, I'm really happy with them.
Great.
So I was talking about maybe we could use the Cricut to put people's names on the cases.
With
like that blue sticky stuff I bought that we've never used.
we have shiny sticky stuff too.
Both.
Yeah.
Maybe worth experimenting with. We got
Sure.
a couple more weekends off,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, here, actually, can you just take this box and put that and this and put them out on the patio with the other ones?
Yeah.
Thank you very
Back
much.
patio or front patio?
Back patio. Thank you, baby. There we go. Yeah, that's about it. That's good for one day, right? I've been live for like 2.5 hours. It's probably good for one day. I am still gonna Lysol all of this box, and then I'm gonna take that box that he just took, and this one, and that other bucket, and hose them down, power wash them in another couple days when I'll yank the tents out and power wash all that stuff together. So it already feels better. There's sort of this like general dinge that comes over my mind when I think of the menagerie. I guess just because it's outside. It feels a lot better in here. It might just be the gratuitous amount of like lemon Lysol wipes that are, you know, the fumes are wafting at me, but I'll take it. I'm not picky. All right, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up for today. If you're a Buy Me a Coffee subscriber, keep an eye out for the Magpie tomorrow. It's all about the recording session I had last Saturday. I am going back into the studio on Friday, so if you are a member of the Magpies Shinies Facebook group, you might catch me live in there on Friday while I'm recording. I have I love you too, Auntie Raven, boy. I have a very long recording session booked, like 10 to 6. So it could be anytime. Who knows? Yeah, not bad. Gosh, The spoons are so shiny and clean. No way, I've never seen them before. All right, thanks for being here. I'm going to put my little ending stream thing up so I don't accidentally cut myself off in the video on demand later. Thanks for being here. And if you're watching this back later, I appreciate you just as much. That counts too. All right, thanks for being here, everybody. I've been Magpie. You've been fabulous. I'll see you next time. Bye.